Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Mandalorian action figure. So we'll set him off to the side and we will take a look at the packaging he comes in. Comes in the standard packaging that all SH Figuarts figures come in. It's not too nice. I mean, for $94 this is kind of flimsy, but whatever, man. So you can see here nice packaging art, Star Wars Mandalorian. It's all reflective. I really like that. And I like the backdrop they have here. They have a nice desert scene in the back on Tatooine or wherever. So that's very cool. Bandai, Tamashii Nations on the bottom. Star Wars Mandalorian. On the side you get another Star Wars Mandalorian with a reflective seal on the bottom, so you know it's not bootlegged. I believe, what does that say? Quality? Tamashii Nations. Quality. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. And then on the bottom, or on the side here, you can see Star Wars Mandalorian, some writing there. Nice pictures on the back. I really like these pictures too. It shows you all the kind of poses you can put him in, so that's very nice. And yeah, there's pretty much nothing more to it, aside from the barcode on the bottom, some other cool symbols. So let's take a look at his accessories. I do want to mention as well, before we take a look at the accessories, most of you who are probably watching this have an SH Figuarts figure and know this. One, like I said, very cool backdrop. I dig that. But when you're opening this little seal, these two plastic things, be really careful because there's some small pieces, and if you open it too fast, they kind of go everywhere. So just be leery of that and be careful. First off, the Mandalorian comes with some directions for all his accessories. You can sit and look through that if you want, if you're confused on anything. Otherwise, just keep watching this review and I'll show you exactly what you need to do, because there is quite a bit to this guy, and that's probably my biggest complaint about him, is that it's a little overly complicated how you put his gun on his back and shit. It's actually kind of shitty. I'm not a fan, but we'll do it. And I mean, I like how it looks for the most part, aside from that cape, but you know, we'll talk about it more as we go on. But yeah, some directions, plain white back, but directions. So first off, we come with quite a few different pairs of hands. Make sure you are careful when popping them off. You can see they're on a little ball joint right there. And I will show you all the different hands that he comes with. He comes with two different trigger fingers. This one is cut a little bit differently. It's a little more slanted towards the end of the wrist, where this one is just more flat and normal, and I'm not sure the difference. I think this one is meant for his big rifle, that blaster. So yeah, two trigger fingers and they're on the same hand. Would have been nice if we got probably four so you could get two on each hand, you know, but whatever. Can't really complain. Comes with two pairs of open, kind of like reaching out type hands that are very nicely done. I like the paint, they look cool, and they fit on quite well. And then the next two are like semi-open, reaching out, kind of gripping hands. They just kind of actually look like relaxed hands that he kind of lay at his side, to be completely honest. So we have two just chill hands, and again, I really like that design. It looks like the, kind of like that trooper from Rogue One, the beach kind of Scarif. I think that's what it is, a Scarif trooper. You can see all the designs are pretty consistent, so I like that. And lastly, he comes with two fists here, which are very nice. And then one gripping hand for his rifle. Very nice. And then he does come with this little pistol here, and you can pop that right out. Fits in very nice. And the pistol is also detailed very, very nicely. I'll focus it in here for you guys. I really like that silver paint that's on the barrel. That looks very nice, very clean, and I like that brown color on the hilt of it, the handle. Looks very good, sculpted very nice, fits in his hand well. However, there is one issue that I do have. The biggest beef with this gun is that there's two holsters for it. One comes with the gun already in it, nicely detailed again, except it does not come out, it just sits at his side, firmly planted. And this one is meant to put on the side when you have the gun unholstered. However, there doesn't seem to be a strap with it. I don't know if mine popped off, if it does or doesn't come with one, but I definitely did not see one in my packaging, so I'm assuming it doesn't come with one. Comment below if I'm missing something, please. So the top of this is not empty. It's not an empty holster. It just has a brown piece there. And if you're doing tour photography and that shows up in your picture, your shot, or whatever, that looks kind of crappy. I don't really care for it, obviously. He did not have a holster in the show that has a completely filled in holster, all brown. And it's kind of surprising because for SH Figuarts' attempt at realism with this figure, making things look really organic with the cape and the gun you're about to see, this really stands out and is kind of awful. But I should talk about too, this does just kind of fit onto his side. You can see a little piece right there if I get him in the light. I can zoom in here for you. You can see here he has a little piece on his belt right there, and you can just kind of pop this on. Be careful not to break anything. And both these holsters fit on exactly the same. So you can kind of pop that on there. It's a bit difficult. There you go. And it fits like that. So it does fit on his belt pretty well, but I still think it's a little odd, this extra holster. I would have just preferred one holster for the gun. So there you go. Okay, so now we're going to talk about my least favorite part of this action figure, which I think a lot of people agree is their least favorite part. So before we do that, I'll talk about the detail on this gun here, which is phenomenal, really. So it splits off into 3 parts. Here we have this end barrel, we got the middle piece, and this is all designed so you really get it in the right way. So that's nice. Excuse me. And then you just kind of pop that in there, if I can get it right. See, this is why they put it this way, so you don't mess it up. So there you go. There's the gun, and you can see it has a hell of a lot of detail, man. Just look at those metallics. The metallic paint on this is just fantastic in my opinion. Honestly, one of my favorite accessories. It's cool as hell. Very, very nice. And we'll take a look at how he holds it in a little bit. But we got to talk more about this. So you can kind of take it apart here, and it's a little difficult. Okay, there we go. Take that apart, and you can kind of switch this piece out for this piece. And this is where it starts to get to be a pain in my ass. Alright, I don't know what the hell they were doing, but this is just stupid in my opinion. So, basically, what you want to do... Oh, and I should have put this on. The gun has a little black piece here that comes on and off. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll pop that on there. Hopefully I'm putting that on the right way. So you can see it just kind of pops on there. And what you want to do is take this piece here. Okay, you get this strap, which is also nicely detailed. And there's a little peg hole here. Okay, and you want to make sure that's lined up with the hole that's on his actual armor. Otherwise it's not going to stay in real nice. You want to take this here, the thicker peg, and pop it in there. Alright, so it's in. Perfect. Now, you can see here there's a slit in the cape, so you can fit the gun through the peg hole here, but we're going to move that out of the way for now. So what you want to do is put this gun facing down in the peg hole, but first, first, you want to pop that little piece off, and be careful not to take this gun apart while you're doing it, because it does have a tendency to just kind of want to come apart. So, I mean, cool and stuff, but it's very annoying. And this is all in an effort to really make this look organic and natural and cool. Okay? So, you pop that in there, like that, after you pop that little black piece off, and it doesn't even really stay in very well. It's pretty shit. Oh, there we go. But if you fidget with it too much, it will just pop right out. It's very annoying. And then you want to take this little piece here. You'd see that little brown little peg right there. And you want to try your best to stick it into the top of that gun. And it just sticks in like that. It's all very shaky. It's all very fragile. But then it's on his back. And now, if you want to do it the correct way, probably the way that most people want him displayed with it, you can pop that out. Stick this to that little cut in his cape. You can see there, you pop that in the hole, that little peg. And then take this and just kind of softly put it in there. You don't need to press too hard. And it's in, it's on his cape, and it actually looks kind of cool, I guess. It's alright for the most part, but honestly, I think this cape is a bit big. That's probably like one of my main complaints, aside from that's complicated. Overcomplicated as shit. Just annoying. It's easy to lose these tiny, tiny pieces. And if you don't want that long strap on, you don't want his gun hanging on his back, you're going to display him holding it or something, you can pop that out there. Make sure this is focused for you guys. Got to check on that. And you can take this little brown piece that it comes with and pop that in the... Oh! And it fell on the floor. Where the hell did it go? Is that it right there? It is. God, you see, it's so easy to lose this shit. This is just stupid and annoying. And you just kind of pop it in there and slide it in, and it fits. So it kind of covers up that hole, but honestly, it's such a small piece that's so frustrating. I don't even want to deal with it. It's a pain in my ass. So I'm going to take that out because, as I said, a pain in my ass. Set that off to the side. And then finally, we will take a look at how he holds that rifle. Okay, so we're putting on this rifle, and we got it here, and I got him in a nice sniper kind of pose. It looks like he's really sniping somebody. And that's a perk of SH Figuarts, so it's got the good articulation. And you want to make sure you have the slightly slanted hand that's cut at the wrist, not this super straightforward pointed one. That's made for the pistol, but you really could use either, I guess. But I think this is for the pistol, considering the hand is more closed. But anyways, so you want to have the gripping hand, you want to have that slanted hand, and you can really mess around to get him in some really dynamic poses. So that's great. But the only problem I have is if you have the hand like this, which is really what you imagine, his hand just shoots up. You have to be, the gun just goes straight forward. You got to be really specific about where you're putting this hand. It takes a little while to really get him in the correct posing that you want. But here you can see I got a pretty decent one. Not too bad. And we'll compare him to the Hasbro Mandalorian's pose. So right off the bat, I'm going to say I prefer the SH Figuarts posability over the Hasbro figures. I really like how this looks in general. Very nice. But now that we have him here, why don't we just take a look and compare a little bit. You can see here the main issue is his chest piece is incredibly bulky on this SH Figuarts Mandalorian. And the chest piece on him is smaller and more normal in my opinion. However, I do think this guy has a lot of positives about him aside from that cape. The cape is way too big. But aside from that, I really prefer him over the Hasbro Mandalorian. Just because I like his color scheme better, although he doesn't look as dirty, and the silver cuts on his armor almost look too clean, he still has a nice, vibrant kind of paint scheme, where this guy's is very, very just kind of stale and dry looking. But aside from that, I personally prefer this guy. However, for the price, I would probably pick him up instead because he's only 20 bucks, man. And he's still pretty nice, and you can still get him in some really cool poses. But you do have the downfall of this plastic cape, which kind of sucks, and a really wonky helmet that is the correct size. I'll say the Mandalorian's helmet from SH Figuarts is a tad small, and that bunched up cape looks kind of awkward. First things first, I want to talk about this cape a little bit. I'm not a fan. It's a bit wide, honestly. It's a bit bunched up and kind of funky. What I like to do is fold it over a little bit if I can. Even though it sticks kind of straight out, I still really like to fold it over. I think they could have done a way better job on it, though. It made it a little bit thinner, to be honest. Or not thinner, but not so wide, man. It's a bit awkward. However, and when you fold it over, too, you can't really utilize that little cut in the cape, so that's a bummer. But aside from that, this guy has some really nice details. A bit bunched up around the neck, so you can't really see his neck. That looks kind of funky, but I mean, it's very reminiscent of the show. And yeah, the head is kind of small. It's a tad small, but it's really nicely sculpted, man. The details are really sharp. I absolutely love the visor on this helmet and everything. I like the armor. I do think these silver cuts are a bit too clean. They don't look as dirty. They're just clean as hell, man. Otherwise, the metallics all throughout are very nice. The paint scheme is also very nice. It's pretty consistent for the most part. You can see he has more of that kind of beach shore trooper armor right here, same as on his hand. And everything is really nice about this guy. I really like the paint. The details are spot on. Even on the back, they have more bumps and shit in his armor, which I really like that a lot. However, you don't really have those in the front at all. Just those little nicks and scratches in his armor, which don't really feel like they're sculpted in at all. They just kind of feel like they're painted on somehow. But the metallics on his belt are also very nice, and on his boots, the sculpting is just phenomenal, as you can see. Very, very, very nice, man. I absolutely love that leg piece right there. Very clean. And I love the colors of the hands and everything. And this belt here is great. It doesn't hinder his articulation at all, because it's not actually connected to this belt here. It's connected to his waist. And same on the back side, it's not actually connected to the belt. so it doesn't really get in the way of articulation. So that's very nice. And I should mention too, these shoulder pads are also very crisp. They do not pop off at all, man. They don't really get in the way of anything. They just work so well. I absolutely love that. I personally really like this guy a lot. I think the detailing, the paint, it's all very nice. He could have looked a bit dirtier considering these cuts are very clean. However, I think he's a cool figure for the most part. I definitely recommend him. Now taking a look at the Mando's articulation, his head can go pretty far back, pretty far forward, has a nice little pivot here. Obviously, it's just a very, very nice rotation. You can't really see the articulation too well. It's on a little ball joint right there. It almost seems like there's probably two ends of it that both have ball joints on it, like a peg type of thing. And the arms go out pretty far. Very nice. Go forward and back. They have a nice little butterfly joint in there, so his arm really comes out. These are articulated as well. You can see here. Very nice. He does have double jointed elbows. Very cool. He does have a rotation in the wrist. He has a ball joint in his wrist, so you can really manipulate the articulation there and have him in all kinds of cool poses and different angles with his hands. He has a swivel here at the waist, at the top of his diaphragm, and towards his pelvis too. There's a swivel as well. The legs do go out pretty far, but that's pretty ugly looking, as you can see. Not really a fan of that. There is a rotation here, and within the actual pelvis crotch piece here, you can see it's like almost put in a little socket there, which really helps with the articulation as well if you want his leg to go forward or back. So that looks pretty nice. And yeah, rotation, that's really, really squeaky, and these legs have a tendency to want to kind of slide out, so you have to kind of pop them back in. He does have double jointed knees too. They have a very nice range of articulation. There is no rotation otherwise. There is rotation here at the ankle though, and a little bit of a hinge. Also a ball joint in there, so you can manipulate the articulation a lot. Nice ankle pivots, and then a hinge here at the toes. And I should mention too, he looks back pretty freaking far and pretty far forward as well. Kind of. Not too bad. It could have been better, honestly. But if you count the legs with it too, he can look forward pretty far and back pretty far. So, pretty nice figure, pretty nice articulation. And here he is next to Vader and Boba. If I wasn't putting him in this little stance here, he'd probably stand about just as tall as Boba, maybe a little bit taller, but you can see Boba Fett's helmet is quite a bit bigger. And then you can see Vader here, he scales nicely with both of them, both SH Figuarts. This is the Return of the Jedi Vader, I believe the newest version of him. And there he is next to Baby Yoda, who actually scales pretty well with him, and I think it's kind of bullshit that he did not come with a Baby Yoda. And there's Mando with all of my Black Series figures, as you can see, and two Bandai model kits in the back. And honestly, he scales pretty well with them. If I put him up here, next to the other Mandalorian figure, you can see he actually scales pretty nicely and fits right in with these Black Series guys. So just a quick piece of history. This guy is the Mandalorian from the Disney Plus series, where he saves the child, the Baby Yoda, and kind of goes on the run with him. He had a bounty on him, had to pick him up, blah blah blah. I'll let you watch the show and see what happens. Pretty great show on Disney Plus, highly recommend. It's really, really refreshing. It's a cool show. Very, very reminiscent of George Lucas's vision, and I love that, man. They did a great job, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, amazing. Aside from that, this blaster here, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was originally seen in the Star Wars holiday special. Came out before The Empire Strikes Back. It was Boba Fett's first appearance, and he had this little rifle here. And that was where it appeared. And if you have seen the holiday special, I am very sorry that you had to watch it. It is a fucking nightmare, man. It's pretty rough. You get to see Chewbacca's family. It is pretty freaking terrible. I think I watched maybe like 10 minutes of it, and I was already done. It was pretty garbage. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this review. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your views. Please keep tuning in. And with that said, I have a giveaway to talk about. So I'm giving away the Black Series Mandalorian in the black and red packaging, and the Siege War for Cybertron Voyager class Megatron. And these guys are both available both for free as long as you follow my Instagram, like the post where I announce the giveaway, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And my Instagram handle will be down below in the description if you want to go look me up. All you have to do is do all that crap and then just comment done on the post, and you will get both of these guys for free. Possibly I will be drawing names from a hat. So may the best man win, best woman win, I don't know. I hope you guys enter the giveaway and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Do I recommend Do I recommend The Mandalorian? He was $94 in Big Bad Toy Store, I believe. At the end of it all, he was $104. If you hear that, that's me rolling my chair forward. Hopefully you don't. He was $104, and he does come with a hell of a lot of accessories. However, he is lacking a child, a baby Yoda, which is kind of a really central point of the show. And he's not really his own separate character. He's always with the Mando, and he's tiny, man. He's easy to include. So I don't know why they didn't. That's kind of annoying. But for $104, do I recommend him? It's really tough to say, to be honest. If you have the Black Series Mandalorian, you probably don't really need this guy. He's fun. I mean, I'm going to have fun with him. He's a cool figure. And for $104, I feel like it was worth my money. I had a good time, reviewing this guy. I'm excited to get him in some cool poses and display him with other characters. So I'll definitely get the bang for my buck. Really, it's your own personal preference. If you're satisfied with that Black Series Mandalorian, or you want to wait for the Mayfex Mandalorian, or the Beskar Mandalorian armor that's coming out from SH Figuarts, wait, just hold off, and that's totally okay. But personally, I really like this guy. I'm having fun with him. He has some flaws, but they're easy to see past, in my opinion. So thanks for watching this, guys. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. And stay tuned for more of my videos. I'm going to have more reviews coming up. I got a Mayfex Venom and the new Marvel Legends Big Monster Venom coming in the mail Monday, I think. So I'll be posting a review around then. Stay tuned for more, guys. And most importantly, keep collecting. Peace.